Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Let's Get Smokin'. Today we have an original recipe coming at ya. We got invited to a little potluck later this afternoon that is sun-themed because the potluck is celebrating the summer solstice. So I was thinking sun, what kind of sun foods or sun-themed drinks could I make? Sun-dried tomatoes popped into my head. And then I thought, well, maybe I could smoke something. What could I smoke with sun-dried tomatoes? And then chicken rollatini or chicken roulade popped into my head. The classic sort of spiral rolled chicken. In this case, we're going to stuff it with provolone, sun-dried tomatoes, and parsley. And then we'll season the outside of it with a barbecue rub and throw it on the smoker. First, we got to make our filling. I have this cubed provolone. Originally, I asked for it thick cut at the grocery store, but you can see that the lady at the grocery store behind the deli counter gave me really thick to the point that it's not even going to like roll on itself. It's so thick. So I just cubed it, and I thought we could mix the filling all together. So first thing going in our filling is provolone. This is probably... that's probably 3/4 pound of provolone right there. And then we're going to add our sun-dried tomatoes. So these were the jarred sun-dried tomatoes, julienne styled. I got 2 of the smaller jars and took some of the oil out, which I think I might use for like a salad dressing or something like that. And then I pulsed them with my immersion blender just to get them a little mushier, finer. So there'll be a nice mix of like bigger chunks of tomato in there, as well as more mushier, softer bits. And then we got parsley, just like 1/3 of a cup of chopped parsley. And we're going to mix this up. That way we have a nice homogeneous sort of mixture that's easy to lay onto our pieces of chicken. But this looks really pretty. I have no idea how much I'm going to get out of this. Like I bought 4 breasts and then I butterflied them. And then I pounded them thin with my special wine bottle. Yeah, that looks great. Really pretty. I don't think the provolone's going to get super melty. We'll see. I think it might get like soft. I'm curious if it'll hold its kind of cube form within the filling or if it kind of does melt into a proper, I don't know, congealed unit of cheese. But that's our filling. And let's see. Let's get this out of here. All right. Chicken, we're going to need twine. We'll use some twine later. So I think what I'm going to do for the sake of the video is I'm going to do a test run where I roll one. And then I'll show you after I kind of work out the kinks, I'll show you like the easier perfected method of rolling your chicken rollatini. I'm going to call it chicken roulade. I'm going to go for the French one because there's no prosciutto. There's no like, I don't know, there's provolone, but I think roulade is more of like a general, you can kind of stuff it with anything. And then we're going to smoke it. Okay, first one went pretty well. I'm pretty happy with how it came out. I'm going for like a long roll. Like rather than doing the short end where I can get more spiral, I want to get longer with narrower pieces because we're going to a party. So I'm going to kind of slice them up thin and have them so maybe with like toothpicks so that people can have like just like small bites of it. But overall, the rolling process went better or just as good as I thought it would, I guess. So what it looks like is thick layer of our filling. Pretty much end to end, but we can leave a little bit on this end piece because that we need some like excess chicken to kind of roll over the gap. But yeah, I'm going pretty heavy with I want this to be very filling forward. I want a lot of sun-dried tomato sweetness to sort of offset the smoke. And really, I mean, yeah, I want sun-dried tomatoes to be the star of this show. I want the filling to be kind of end to end, almost spewing out of the sides. So yeah, we have a nice even layer, plenty of cheese and parsley and sun-dried tomato. And then we roll, trying to keep this pretty tight. Using my fingers to sort of hold the filling in as it wants to spew out a little bit. Tight, 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 tight. There we go. That is our chicken roulade. So I'll do the next two breasts, which are not as pretty as that perfectly rectangular breast I just used, but they'll roll up nonetheless, and then we'll twine them. All right, our chickens are ready. As you can see, the smoker, we got a nice near invisible smoke. We got 350 at least on the smoker itself. No water pan. All right. And now we cover them. I don't know how long this is going to take. I think it could take an hour and a half, 45 minutes. We'll see. All right, it is exactly 1 hour later, and they are all clocking just under 160. They look really pretty. And I think the last thing I'm going to do is just put them over the hot coals for a little bit to char them up. So yeah, I used this technique in one of my videos, just right over the hot coals to get a little more blackening. Nice. The grease is going to bounce off the coals and kick up some more heat. Good color on them overall. The bottoms are nice and hot, but the tops are like, I think I'm going to pull them. I don't want them to overcook. And here they are. Beautiful. We're going to let them cool for completely and then slice them up. I guess one of the things that I would do differently next time, because I'm so used to using the water pan, which makes it a little more like a kind of convection oven. where the heat is like more steady, but because this had the direct heat, I probably should have flipped the chicken rollatini about halfway through. So as a result, one side's going to be a little overcooked, the other side's going to be just right. But my plan is to, cut them thin, and I think the sun-dried tomato and the cheese will kind of make up for any overcooked meat. Okay, the chicken rolls have officially cooled down, and it's time to slice them up. Yeah, they took exactly 1 hour. They had a very small chunk of hickory on there and a larger chunk of pecan. It's time to cut into these bad boys and see what our spiral looks like. Here we go. The reveal. Pretty. Plenty of sun-dried tomato in the center there. I'm hoping as I slice them, they'll keep their spiral form. Let's give this one a taste. So you can see we have the cheese, which has mostly melted, softened. It's softened. Probably a good blend of melting and softening. Nice. The provolone has that nice, strong, kind of sharp flavor to it. Sun-dried tomato mixes up the texture, gives a little meatiness, a little sweetness. Obviously that sunny burst of tomato. Good smoke flavor. Well balanced. I'm really happy with these. Got a nice color on them. They've maintained their spiral shape quite well. So yeah, I'm gonna slice these up and put them in a serving dish. We'll keep them in the fridge and then just reheat them before we bring them over to the party. But I'm quite pleased with this overall. Lovely. And here is the final product of our smoked sun-dried tomato chicken roulade. I got a good 30 pieces out of it, and I'm pretty happy with how well they held their shape, the consistency, the filling. Chicken, still pretty juicy, Little on the drier side, but overall, very tasty. Flavors come together nicely. This was a keeper. Thanks for watching.